Hi, I'm Ms. Cohen. I'm one of the algebra teachers at Milwaukee High School.
Hello everyone, I am Mr. Sandoval and I am also one of the Algebra 1 and Algebra support teachers. We're going to walk you through these slides to see what you expected to see in our Algebra 1 course and Algebra 1 support. So today's agenda is the following. We're going to meet your Algebra 1 and Algebra support teachers. We're going to do that. We're going to show you a sample week in Algebra 1 or Algebra support. We're going to talk about supports for parents, and we're going to talk about grading. Grading is going to be really important to be clear about too. And at the end, if you have any questions, we can talk about that in the live session. All right, so here are your 4 Algebra 1 teachers for the whole year. So we have Miss Cohen, we have Miss Desai, Mr. Schaefer, and myself, Mr. Sandoval. Some of us are going to be teaching both Algebra 1 and Algebra 1 support, and some of us are just going to be teaching Algebra 1.
So we wanted to walk you through what a week might look like for students. Our goal in creating this schedule was doing something very consistent so that your students always know, or your children always know what to expect. So Monday and Tuesday, we'll have one learning goal that we spread over the 2 days. So an example of what that might look like, on Monday, the asynchronous learning means it's not live. So they'll be watching a video on Edpuzzle, and I'll show you that website in a minute, and they'll begin working on a homework assignment. The following day, on Tuesday, we'll have a live session. So we'll all come together using Google Meets. We'll practice together in class. We might do some group work, and we'll finish the homework assignments. And then Wednesday is a community meeting, so no classes. But then Thursday and Friday, we do a second learning goal. And the process is exactly the same. They'll watch a video on Edpuzzle to learn something new. They'll start working on the homework. And then we'll come back the next day and fill in any gaps in our live session, do lots of practice, possibly do some group work, and then finish up the assignment. So that's for Algebra 1. If your student has Algebra support, it's going to look a little bit different. Students in Algebra support will have their Algebra class each day for the entire year. So we get to move at half the pace to ensure that students get the help they need. So instead of just having class quarter 1 and 3, they'll have it all 4 quarters. Approximately 40% of ninth graders will have algebra support this year, and students were placed in this class based on the recommendation of their 8th grade math teacher. So for algebra support, what we're going to do differently is we're going to have one learning goal that we spread over the entire week, all 4 days. So they'll begin by watching a video and learning something new. And then the following day, they'll have a live session where we practice, make sure everybody's understanding. And then Thursday, same learning goal, same skill. They'll do some independent practice on their own. And then Friday, we fill in gaps, small groups, targeted instruction, or some just additional live practice time.
All right, so we're also going to talk about office hours, and we're going to have open office hours available for students and families for 30 minutes after each live session. So we're going to have, as Ms. Cohen pointed out, 2 live sessions per week. So after each live session, we're going to have 30 minutes to go over questions, any clarifying points the students may have. Students can get extra help during this time. It's a good time to ask questions if they don't understand the live session, or for future homework or past homework, so they can get that extra help that they need. What if I need help during the asynchronous time? Well, we can let you go to Google Classroom, so you can send a private comment to your teacher, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
So where should your students go when it's time for class? The answer will always be Google Classroom. So that's the first place they should go when class is going to begin. And that goes for the live classes, also for the asynchronous classes. And I want to take you quickly through what that's going to look like. So when your student goes to Google Classroom, they'll see something like this with all of their classes. They'll click on Algebra. They'll click on the classwork tab up here, and they should see assignments listed with the date. So if it's September 14th, they'll click on this link, and there will be some directions as well as links to whatever assignments they are going to be doing. And so just to be really clear, when it's time for class, your student should go to Google Classroom and click on this classwork tab and find the correct date. Okay. So we wanted to talk about Edpuzzle because we are going to be posting all of our videos on that website. What it allows us to do is see if the student watched the video, but really powerful is that we can embed comprehension questions throughout our videos so that the students are interacting with the video even though we're not there with them live. So what that might look like as an example, this is one of the first videos your children will watch, and it's about tables and graphs and patterns. And when they press play, there are periodically all these little marks mean there are questions that they will answer just to keep them engaged and to make sure that they're understanding the content. So that's where they'll go for their video lessons. And then lastly, homework will be through a website called GoFormative. And this is an example of what a homework assignment might look like. So kind of looks like a traditional worksheet, but it allows students to type their answers in here. It even allows them to show their work by drawing or typing. And it allows us as teachers to give students really high quality immediate feedback on their work.
So let's talk about grades. So how will grades be assigned, or what will be the points for each? Well, we have different categories. The first category, we're gonna call it homework assignments. We're probably gonna have 2 per week, 5 points each. We're also going to have an Edpuzzle video assignments, 2 per week as well, 5 points each. We're also gonna have other extra assignments. They could be projects, could be extra credit assignments, anything like that would be in this category. And it's gonna be worth between 2 and 5 points each. And last but not least, this is actually the most important one because it's the unit test, it's the evaluation for the whole unit. We're gonna have 2 per quarter, and each of these tests is gonna be worth 100 points each. So these are gonna be extremely important. Each of these categories are gonna be flexible. We're gonna see how things go during the first couple of weeks, and we can make some adjustments on the number of points or on the number of assignments for each of the units that we're gonna cover. If students aren't happy with a grade on any assignment, they can redo it if they attend office hours or reach out for extra support. So this is really important. And when a student, let's say, fail a test, they can always retake it many times. However, we're gonna make sure that the student is actually prepared for the retake. So if a student is going to do a retake and hasn't practiced all the skills necessary to be successful during the retake, that's not gonna work. So that's why we're gonna make sure that the student gets all the extra help that they need before they actually do a retake. As a parent, how can I see what my kid is supposed to do? How do I know if they are actually doing their assignments? Well, we have several options. Here is option 1. You can look over their shoulder at their Google Classroom page, as simple as that. So just to make sure you know they are on track, they are signing into the right classroom, they are signing with the right teacher, and they are actually working on the correct assignments. So you can always keep their track, keep their progress to see if they are doing that daily. We're gonna be posting stuff almost every day of the week, so you can always be checking for assignments and tasks that they need to complete. Option number 2, you can go to Synergy and see their grades there and see if there is anything missing there. So Synergy is gonna be synced to Google Classroom, so whatever is shown on Google Classroom is gonna appear in Synergy and vice versa. Synergy is the official platform that we're gonna use basically for grades. So anything that goes in the report card is gonna come out from Synergy. But we're gonna keep it the same in Google Classroom, so there is no confusion on that part. Option number 3, you can sign up for parent summaries in Google Classrooms. Yes, so in Google Classroom there is a feature where you can go into the account and then you can ask requests for summaries, right, from us, so you can kind of see all the progress that your kid is doing in each of our classes. Option 4, you can always check out the teacher's website and you can see the content there for the specific units that we're working on. So each of us is required to have a website. So you can always make sure that you are checking the right website with the right teacher, so you actually seeing the material that you're supposed to be looking at. Option 5, this is pretty direct. You can email your teacher. We will be happy to discuss your child's progress with you. This is a very efficient way personally for me to connect with kids and family. I always check my email daily, and it's kind of the first thing that I do because my email is where I get all the information that I need from staff, from teachers, from administrators, from everybody in my school site. Getting ready. Number one, ensure your student can still sign in to their at nclac.org account and access their Gmail account. We're exclusively using, the Google account, so it's important that your kid is actually using the right account so he can or she or they can be able to access all the materials that they need in each of our classes. Number two, make sure you have parent view access. This is a specific platform for parents so they can check their grades. Grades, as I said it before, will appear in Google Classroom and in Synergy, and they should appear the same. Number three, create a learning space designated for your student with basic supplies to start. Pretty basic, a notebook. A notebook is extremely important. Any kind of notebook that they can get, that would be fantastic. So they can take notes when they're watching the videos on Edpuzzle. At the same time, we're gonna ask them to, take notes so they can kind of keep track of that information once they have to complete homework, tests, or any other evaluation. Pencils, erasers, Chromebooks, extremely important so they can log in and access Edpuzzle, Google Classroom, and other devices that might be extremely helpful too, such as like headphones, stuff like that too. We are here to help. We are excited to meet your kids and get started. Here are contact information. Here are our emails, so you can send an email to any of us, depending on where your kid is at. And there is also a tech help number, 503-353-5822, if you have any assistance with Chromebooks or any tech support that you might need. We are looking forward to have a great year with all of you.
Thank you very much. And please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us if you have any questions about algebra class or about anything that you should be expecting for this pretty unconventional year. But we just want you to know we're really excited to meet you all.